Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Mocktail Minutes. This is Bailey.
And this is Brianna.
This week, I am drinking Swoon, and they're actually coming out, I think, with some new flavors. So I've been trying to find them, but this is just the classic lemonade. It's not my favorite, but this was the Barbie one that I tried that we talked about last week. That it was like a
Yes.
pink lemonade, and I didn't like it. So I think it's the lemonade part of it that I don't like of the spoons, which is very odd because I love lemonade.
Yeah, you know what? I like lemonade too, but I feel like a lot of the carbonated lemon flavor things, I don't.
Well, this one, it's not really carbonated.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
yeah.
don't know what it is about it. It reminds me of throwing up stomach acid every time.
Right. And that's
I like
not.
this one better than the pink lemonade, but I like the other swoon flavors better.
Yeah. I know I'm gonna get some. They had some at Target, I think it was.
Mhm.
I walked by them and then I didn't do anything about it. I have coffee, but then I also have I've been really into the Electrolyte Powder Plus lately. You can get it on Amazon, which I feel like is nice because it's just like, oh, 2-day shipping, and you don't have to wait. If you're like me and you wait till stuff like runs out before you order. But there's like tons of flavors, and every one that I've tried is really good. And it's higher in potassium. I like to call it like the opposite of element or elementy, because it's like 1,000 milligrams of potassium instead of salt. So if you know you need more potassium, that's a good one.
You need to just subscribe to your electrolytes. That's what I do. But then you end up like me and you're like, well, now I have like 12 bags of electrolytes because I forget to skip it sometimes.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with factor meals
Yeah.
because you have to skip it every week and you can, but if you forget, it's like, here's your meals. And I'm like, dang it. Like it happened to me like 4 weeks in a row. I just have like random factor meals. I'm like, well, this is good for if I need it, but
I've done
financially, I should have skipped.
Yeah, I've done that with Thrive Market too. And Thrive Market really gets you because like I'll add things as I'm thinking about it. So sometimes like if I don't adjust my cart before I check out, it's like $400 and it's like, oh, here's your shipment. It's like, oh,
Here you go. Everything you were thinking about. You're like,
whoops. I mean,
so yeah,
wait.
I probably do need to subscribe to at least Ravy or something.
Yeah, I
I would
subscribe to Crave.
comment. Yeah, I need to do Ravy. I
I
just
do
need to.
that one. And then Cure is on a subscription as well.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. Speaking of Element, I tried the chocolate salt one. And so I did it with just some water and then like a splash of this oat creamer I found that had like quality ingredients in it. It was heavenly. Like I was like, I could drink 4 of these, but that probably would not go over well.
Yeah, a little too much. But yeah, that's a good idea. Like make it creamy.
It was good.
Well, that's good to know because I have a bunch of those.
Yeah, I was really scared to try it, but I just did a splash of the oat creamer and then, yeah, I just did water with it.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try it. I
And
have some.
again, this sidebar has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
No.
But it kind of flows off from last week's conversation. We talked about coconut oil. So this week we are talking about hair loss during weight loss because we see this all the time where people are like, I'm working on weight loss, or it's like all of a sudden my hair is getting super thin, or my hair has always been super brittle.
Yes.
Different comments like that. And I mean, we did mention this last week's episode where it's like when we were growing up, everyone's like, take biotin. And then like you have goddess hair. It didn't really work for me in that way.
No.
I mean, I'm sure it helped some, but biotin is not going to be your end all be all type of thing. There's many other pieces that comes into getting fuller hair, to getting shinier hair, stronger hair, all those things.
Yeah.
And I mean, it might sound a little bit vain, but I don't think it's a bad thing to want nice looking hair. I love my
No.
hair.
Yeah. No, I've had extensions multiple different times because
Yeah.
yeah, I want long flowing thick
I've
hair.
never had extensions, and I get really proud when people ask me if I'm wearing
I
this.
thought for sure because I just assume everybody with long hair. I'm like, oh, they have extensions, and I did for the longest time. I was like, does Bailey? But then I noticed like how you wear your hair up sometimes, and I'm a weirdo that just knows. And I was like,
You
there's
don't
no
see
way
my
she has
tracks.
extensions. Like, there's no way. Yeah, you can't see any tracks. I was like, no, that's her hair.
It is something I'm very proud of. And I tell Josh this all the time, like, you should be very lucky that I pride myself on my hair
Yeah.
because I know how much some people pay for these extensions. I am growing this myself.
Yeah, they're a lot. They're a lot.
I mean, I could
But
use some
yeah,
more thickness, but I mean, some things you just cannot change.
no, it looks fantastic.
Okay.
No, and like on the topic of biotin, because I think everyone thinks it's just like this end all be all, like, oh, I'll take biotin, like hair, skin, nails, it's going to be great. But too much biotin is bad.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, I mean, here's the thing, you're going to benefit some, right? But it's not like this magic cure. And if you're someone who really, I know Robin talks about this a lot. If you're someone that really struggles with like acne and stuff, too much biotin might be making it worse. So your efforts to make something better might be like making it worse. And also, I just learned this, biotin can skew your lab values. Too much biotin for too long can skew certain lab values, which I did not know.
Huh. Interesting.
I literally learned that yesterday. So
And that's where it comes to supplements. I was listening to a podcast yesterday where, yes, supplements are great. They can be a good natural option when you need them. I mean, some of them, yeah, they're not really going to pose any harm, but really anything in excess can cause the opposite effect to your body. Like even if you were to just eat fruits and vegetables all day long, I mean, you're not going to overdose on broccoli or anything, but you need other things in your body. Too much of anything is not always a great option. And especially with supplements, if your body doesn't need them and now you're like overdosing on biotin or vitamin A, it's going to throw things off. Just how we mentioned in a previous episode, I had really high vitamin D. I felt really shitty because of that. And like, oh, more vitamin D, the better. Yeah, no, that was not better.
Yeah, it's our bodies, it's Goldilocks. It likes to be just right. So, I mean, even water, and this is what I tell people all the time, like water is toxic at a high level.
At very high levels, yeah.
So, yeah. But
I do have a bone to pick. I had a doctor tell one of my clients that she did not need to be drinking over, I had recommended like 80 ounces of water.
Yeah. Okay.
Water. And she's like, you really don't need to be drinking that much water or anything like that. Like you need other things like Diet Coke and include some tea. And I'm like,
she heard wrong in her one nutrition class.
You just told my person that she's drinking too much water and told her to drink Diet Coke.
That's like the opposite problem that we are having with literally everybody. Is like, please drink a little bit less soda and drink more water.
Yeah. And I was trying to tell her, I'm like, you're not going to overdose on even 100 ounces of water. Like, please continue to drink water and don't substitute your water for Diet Coke.
That's wild. That's fun. That's fun, but so annoying. But no, I feel like since we do work with a lot of people that are pursuing weight loss, this is something that can come up, or it's a question that we get because in the past, when they've tried to lose weight, they've noticed like my hair gets a little bit more dull or it falls out, or for some people, it's kind of extreme, like my hair started falling out in chunks. So this is directly from like nutrient deficiencies, like protein, minerals, vitamins. I almost said muscles. Protein, vitamins, minerals deficiency, most likely because you are severely restricting calories. You're just not getting enough nutrients. And this leads to stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like specifically, so like your protein, your hair is made up of protein. And so if you're not getting enough protein, it's going to weaken the structure, which is why it's so brittle. Yeah. Or like your vitamins and minerals. So iron, if we have too low of iron, this is going to reduce your oxygen supply to your hair follicles, which is going to lead to hair loss because you're not getting the oxygen. We like oxygen to prosper and
to keep the blood flow.
Yes, zinc is also going to be important for tissue growth and repair in general. So if you don't have enough zinc, then okay, hair thinning, hair loss. Biotin, yes, it's still important for your hair. We're not saying that you don't need biotin because if you're deficient in biotin, your hair is going to be thinner. Or like vitamin D, it's going to affect hair follicle cycling and then lead to hair loss. And then like omega-3 fatty acids. And so in general, like Brianna said, your protein, your vitamin, minerals, and this stems from severe calorie restriction because you're not eating enough. But then also, if you are severely restricting, this is also going to lead to your body having like a stress response.
Yep.
And our body doesn't like to be stressed out. And so it's going to affect all these different systems within our body. It can create some type of like energy diversion. So when our body's stressed out, or if we're like doing this calorie restriction, then with this, our body is going to take those calories that we are eating and use it to keep us alive. At this point, it does not care about how shiny your hair is. It is going to prioritize your vital functions to make sure you're breathing.
Right.
It's not going to do the bonuses.
Yeah, you're not going to have shiny hair. You're not going to have bright looking skin. You're going to have dull skin, dry, brittle hair that just stops growing or breaks off. Your nails like don't grow as well. Like it's part of the like nutrition focused physical exam that, you know, whatever, like when a dietitian goes to like, evaluate someone's nutrition, like we're looking at all these things. Like you know, does this person have patchy hair? Is their skin super dull? Like what do their nails look like? Because like Bailey said, that's not a priority. Your long, luscious hair is not a priority. And I get frustrated when I see this online and it's like, you only know what you know, right? And again, we've talked about how a lot of companies, they market towards people's insecurities. They know people are insecure about their hair and stuff. So it's like, oh, take this supplement. It'll be great. I see this a lot with like collagen specifically. And it's like, yes, collagen can help, right? But if you are not eating enough protein to begin with, your body's going to take that collagen and use it other places that it needs it. And it's not going to be your hair. So you can take your $120 liquid collagen all you want, but if you're barely eating anything, you're kind of just wasting your money.
And that's the thing too, like we can't target specific areas no matter what we do, supplements, or even thinking like working out. Like we can't be like, I want you to burn fat right here, or I want this collagen to go right to my head type of thing. Like
I wanted to work with my follicles.
Yes, I want to only focus on my hair right now. Our body doesn't work like that. It's going to take it where it's needed. And then other reasons why you can be losing hair while losing weight is hormone imbalances. So rapid weight loss can disrupt your hormone imbalance, even thinking like thyroid hormones, which do play a role in hair growth. And then again, like that stress response is going to affect those hormones too. Or even like a common one when we're working on weight loss, or a lot of people that come to us for weight loss, they're coming from an area of, number one, they've been dieting for years. Their body's already very stressed out. Number two, a lot of these diets have to do with either low carb, which is affecting your thyroid hormone, or has to do with low fat diets. If we're not eating enough fat in our diet, that is also going to affect how luscious and shiny our hair is as well, because we need that fat.
Yeah, we need it. Fat is your best friend. And I think some like one of the wins that I see a lot that I feel like pops up for people unexpectedly, usually before they're at their weight loss goal, because again, when you're losing weight at a good pace, you start to see other things first, and people will comment like, my gosh, my hair is actually growing, or like my skin looks really bright, or like someone told me I just looked like I was glowing. And it's like, yeah, you're eating
nutrients.
You're eating and your body loves it. And now you're like reaping all these benefits from it. So yeah, it's the trends, the low carb, you impact your thyroid, the low fat, you're impacting your hormones. And then overall, just not enough nutrients to really go towards those areas that you want it to.
So here's what you can do, because we're really big about, we're not just going to let you know what the issue is. We're going to let you know, okay, here's things that you can do as well. Because again, you are not doomed type of thing. There are things that you can do. And this is part of, if we're just focusing on the calories for weight loss and we're not focused on the nutrients, this is one of the side effects of doing that.
Yeah.
So number one, let's start focusing on the nutrients, starting with that protein. We talk about protein so much. I hope that you guys are starting to get the point of how important protein is.
You need it.
Yes, it's going to be important for so many different areas. And then, like we talk about a lot with muscle, but we've also talked about the other benefits of protein. Another benefit is, hello, your hair health, because keratin is a type of protein. It's the primary structural component of your hair. And this can be found in your eggs, lean meats, fish, dairy products.
Yes.
There's another benefit of protein if you needed another one.
If you need another one, your hair. Another one, which is super important for a lot of things, but it's vitamin A. This specifically helps with producing sebum, or that oil, which I know some people might hear that and be like, oh gosh, I need less of that because I don't want my hair to be oily, but it keeps your hair moisturized. It helps your scalp health. You absolutely need it. So this is going to be in like sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, kale. You can all like organ meat is another good one, or I know not everyone's just chomping on liver, but if you do, there you go.
I will say too much vitamin A can lead to hair loss though too. With that being said, a lot of times it's hard to overdo it on vitamins and minerals from food. It's more if you're doing like supplements.
Yeah, it is really hard to do it from food.
It's probably not going to happen, to be honest. And you mentioned the oily part. So I typically have like a super oily face, and I started using oil, and it actually made my face less oily.
Yeah.
Because from what I understand, I mean, it's kind of like how our metabolism works. If our face just needed more oil to it, it's going to produce more oil. So then once I gave it what it needed, it was like, okay, I don't need to produce extra.
I don't need to overproduce it. I think it's the same thing with your hair, because I used to be someone like I washed my hair every single day because I was like, it gets so oily and I have pretty fine hair. But as soon as I started using some scalp oil, I noticed like, oh, like my hair looks pretty good on day 3. Like, okay, cool. But yeah, so I think it is like that. Zinc is also important. It plays a role in hair tissue growth and repair. It keeps your oil glands working. You can get this also from beef, pumpkin seeds, lentils. I will say this is one I wouldn't supplement with. I see this a lot. You should not be supplementing long-term with zinc, even though it has so many great benefits. You're going to mess up how your body is absorbing other nutrients because it's going to be competing with that.
I use zinc intermittently when like sickness pops up. Yeah. So like I've been using it this week because Josh has been sick. So I mean, we're in week 34 of pregnancy. I'm like, we cannot be getting sick right now.
We're not getting
sick. Yeah, we're doing some zinc and whole food vitamin C supplements, but I don't take it all the time.
Yeah, and that's perfect. That's the best way to use it.
Other ones, so like your B complex vitamins. So that's going to be your biotin. Like we said, deficiency leads to thinning. This can be found eggs, almonds, nuts, and seeds. So you don't have to take a supplement. Again, getting your protein from your eggs. You're also getting biotin, almonds, nuts, and seeds. Those are kind of good superfoods, I would say.
Yeah.
Niacin is another B vitamin. It helps with blood circulation. You can get this in chicken, turkey, avocados, mushrooms. And then pantothenic, is that how you say that one?
Yeah.
Acid. I've always just called it like B5 or whatever.
Yeah, like I know the number, but yeah.
Yeah. So that one also helps with hair growth, hair health in general. And you can find that in your whole grains. So that comes from like your complex starchy carbs. That's why we also need carbs. Eggs, avocados. Eggs are really beneficial too, like eating the whole egg.
Yeah.
In different ways.
I know. You get a ton of your B vitamins and things that you need for your hair and skin. Choline. Eggs. Yes, choline, super important, especially while pregnant. Vitamin C, specifically whole food vitamin C, not a supplement. It helps with collagen production, and it helps you also absorb iron, because again, you can be supplementing with as much collagen and iron as you want, but unless you're able to absorb it, you don't get the benefits. So vitamin C's and things like citrus, you're like, think colorful, like strawberries, bell peppers, broccoli, those sort of things. When I say bell peppers, I mean like orange, yellow, red.
Yeah, those are good vitamin C. And I did just mention I do take a vitamin C supplement on occasion. I do the whole food vitamin C supplement.
I do too. I do a whole food powder.
Yes, the whole food pills, they smell like not great. I mean, they smell like vegetables and everything. So you can definitely tell the difference. I use the one, I think it's the Garden of Life brand, I want to say. But I do like that one. Just don't smell it before you ingest it.
Yeah, that's why I do the powder and I put it in like my mocktail because it's like the whole food. So I like put it in there so I can get all my minerals. And the powder I have, I should jot it down. It just makes it kind of tart. It makes it kind of like, I don't know, I guess lemonade type. It's good because yeah, the pills are rough.
They smell.
They do.
Josh is like, what are you giving me? I'm like, just don't smell it. Just
take it.
swallow it. You'll be fine.
The next thing is going to be iron. This is essential for your red blood cells to carry the oxygen to your hair follicles. We talked about this, but this is in your red meat, spinach, lentils, fortified cereals. You can also get a little bit more iron from cooking with cast iron. So if you're, I mean, I know where I'm at, that's very popular. Do be careful though. I would say like if you're just, eating a lot of red meat, a lot of cast iron, maybe like get your iron levels checked every now and again.
I don't use cast iron pans. They make me nervous. I feel like there's a lot of rules with them.
Yeah, there is a lot of rules. I like to put it in the dishwasher. I don't wash it. I put it in the dishwasher and I take a picture and I send it to my dad just to make him like, you're not supposed to do that, but I like to do it.
That is a rule I know you're not supposed to do.
I'm like, hey, is this okay? And honestly, I've got him like 4 or 5 times with this. And each time he's like panicking. I'm like, okay, you do know that I know that, like, but he's just too easy. So
yeah. Next one, vitamin D. So this helps with the creation of new hair follicles and it links to like the hair cycle regulation. So it's going to keep your hair growing. So nuts, seeds, spinach, avocados. Avocados, I would say, are another one that kind of gives you a big bang for your buck. Beneficial in so many different ways.
100%. And then we talked about the omega-3s. And you can get them from fatty fish, flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, basically nuts and seeds, fish.
Yeah. This is another one I do take a supplement for just because we don't eat a lot of fish. I do chia seeds, flax seeds, and nuts, but I do supplement this one. I just use a Nordic Natural brand.
I do this one too, especially if I'm like right now I'm traveling a lot. So I feel like I don't have a lot of control over my meals. And I know a lot of my meals are being cooked with like a lot of omega-6s. So I'm trying to like balance that out. That's something we go over in metabolism makeover if you're like wondering what the heck we're talking about, but just balancing out your omega-6s, omega-3s.
Vitamin E. So that one, it's an antioxidant. So it helps prevent oxidative stress, which is something that can lead to hair loss. So again, nuts, seeds, spinach, avocados. I said for vitamin D, I said the wrong ones. Vitamin D is going to be more like sunlight, fatty fish, fortified dairy. Vitamin E is going to be nuts, seeds, spinach, avocados.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about vitamin D and I just tell people like go outside, especially in the morning when the sun's not as harsh. And then it also doubles as like stress management, which is also fantastic for your hair.
Yeah. And I will say a lot of people in Missouri, they're deficient a lot in vitamin D because we're living in Missouri, working a full-time job and anything like that's hard to get enough sunlight. So this is a common one to supplement as well. But if you are supplementing with vitamin D, get your blood work done so you don't want toxic levels.
And then lastly, we have collagen. This just helps to maintain the layer of the skin that holds the root of the hair follicle, if that makes sense. And you get this in like bone broth, fish, collagen supplements. Sardines are great because you eat the bones and stuff. I don't like sardines, but sardines are another great one for vitamin D, calcium, collagen type thing. But so basically what we're getting at is like, yes, we talked about a lot of individual ones and instantly it can be really easy to be like, oh, I'm going to jot all these down. I'm going to supplement them. But when you get them from your food, it's a much better source. It's easier to maintain the balance that you're supposed to have these things in. And you're also making sure that you get enough energy, AKA calories, to actually be able to use these things. Because again, we see a lot of people just dieting, heavily restricting, and then supplementing with a ton of stuff, thinking that they're going to get the same benefits, and you're not. So try to get as many of these sources of food as you can, spread them out throughout your day, throughout your week, however it is, and that's going to help. Some other things that really help with your hair is gradual weight loss. So, not rapidly losing weight. We want to make sure that we're maintaining our hair, maintaining our skin, maintaining
muscle,
all the things. You can tell when someone rapidly loses weight, they just look a little different. You can kind of see it. We don't want that. We want to like prevent that.
And if you're losing it too fast with that severe calorie restriction, you're going to have that stress response. So we want it to be slow and steady.
Slow and steady.
And I was going to go back to kind of all the vitamins and everything we just went through. If you're kind of feeling overwhelmed, you're like, okay, I need to get this vitamin, I need to get this mineral, I need to get this, this, and this. Instead of focusing on the vitamins, just write down the foods we talked about. Yeah. Just get those foods in. Get your protein, avocados, nuts, seeds, spinach. Those are like your top hitters to cover all those sections.
Yeah. And you can hit all those at breakfast, which is great. Have some eggs, some avocado, chia seeds, and a smoothie. Done. Perfect.
Yeah. Yes. Other thing, I mean, like hydration, it's always going to be important, but it's going to support your overall health, of course. And then it also helps to transport all the nutrients throughout your body. So staying well hydrated. And the last thing I would say, stress management. We mentioned stress a couple times, but identifying where your stress is coming from, and then what you can do to kind of deload that stress or handle it a little bit better, which is something we talk about in Metabolism Makeover as well.
Yeah, really managing your stress. Stress makes a huge impact. And there's a lot of things that could be stressing out your body, like, yes, mentally and emotionally, but also just like physically. And then the last thing I thought it would just be like a good sidebar, because I've been seeing this so much, mostly on Facebook, which is why I don't like to go on Facebook, but hair loss with Ozempic specifically. So this is coming from a couple of things, right? It's that rapid weight loss. It's a lack of nutrients because most people are just eating much less. And the recommendation that I'm seeing for this is like drink a protein shake a day and take some vitamins. And like, while those are a decent start, I would say also make sure you're working with someone while you're on Ozempic to really make sure you're, number one, making the lifestyle changes. So it's going to help you once you lose the weight, because if you don't have those lifestyle changes, you're going to have weight rebound and probably a little bit more. And then also working with someone to make sure that you're hitting all your nutrient targets for the day while you're on this medication, specifically if you're using it for weight loss, because I feel like when most people are using it for diabetes, they're not having a bunch of the side effects usually, unless they're taking a really high dose. It's mostly the people that I see using it specifically for weight loss. So that's my sidebar.
Yes. Make sure you're getting nutrient dense food options in you. And don't just focus on the supplements, like focus on the food, and you're going to get a bigger bang for your buck. And if you're like, well, healthy eating is too expensive. Well, I mean, you could either pay in a supplement that it's probably not as bioavailable, and also you're not getting any calories that you need for your body to function from it.
Yeah.
Or you can just start with the food, and then you might not need that supplement.
Exactly. Ozempic is also expensive. So that's my.
Yeah. And we are having someone come in within the next few weeks. She is a functional med practitioner, and we are going to talk about Ozempic, because with doing more research, my viewpoints have kind of changed upon it. And she has a really good explanation of how Ozempic works, what you can do with it so that it's actually sustainable, and who it can be helpful for.
Yeah. And also how to use it and what to do before jumping on it. And then also how to maintain all the things that you have gained when getting off of it. So I'm excited for it. She just does such a good job of being like, hey, this is it.
This is it.
Like, the information. This is so great. Like, I can't, because I get too worked up about it. Even though I like it. Like and again, like GLP-1s are not new, everybody. They have been around. But yes, so I'll leave that for that episode, but I'm very excited for it.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mocktail Minutes, where we covered hair loss and weight loss, why it occurs, and also what you can do about it. We hope you found these tips helpful, and start focusing on those nutrients, and you'll be golden.
And you'll have nice hair.
Yes. And you'll have nice, luscious hair.
All right, everyone. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.